So this is a video from FBE Capital, why women shame men for having boundaries and standards in modern dating. He makes great videos, very well put together, so go check him out.
People don't need to understand or agree with your boundary in order to respect it.
We live in a world where women like to talk about boundaries and respect non-stop.
Setting boundaries.
How do you set the boundary?
There is a beautiful
Alright, so pay attention to this chick real quick. She's saying there is a beautiful thing called boundaries.
thing called boundaries.
That needs to be respected.
However, when men define their boundaries,
I don't want a girl that shows too much skin.
they are met with nothing but anger and ridicule.
If the guy doesn't want his girl to dress a certain way, he must be very insecure and probably have trust issues.
Your man is getting onto.
So this is the same chick I just pointed out, and listen to what she says. She was saying there's a beautiful thing called boundaries, and now listen to what she's saying.
Certain way, he must be very insecure and probably have trust issues.
Your man is getting onto about what you can and can't wear. They got small dick energy. Just get.
And there it is. So she's saying a beautiful thing called boundaries. And if your man is getting on to you about something you can or can't wear, he's insecure. No, isn't that a boundary? I thought you just said.
Small dick energy. Small dick energy.
I think a man should be proud of anything. Like, there's my woman, and she's doing whatever the she needs to do. She looks good, and people are loving her, especially women.
If guys want to purchase a site to see me post pictures I feel confident, why is that a bad thing?
Like my actual boyfriend, he was absolutely fine with it. He couldn't be more supportive, yeah?
How she's basically advertising for the entire public to see. I don't like that.
Why does that bother you? Why does that bother you? If it bothers you, then that's something deep that you need to go searching within yourself.
Your insecurity.
Insecure.
He's so deeply insecure, and it's all about control.
He would always say, I have the hottest woman in the world. Why would I not want to share?
Dude, these bitches are out of control.
Now, if you go online and you look at a girl's account, and first of all, she's got the cleavage everywhere. But if you just scroll down a little bit, you can see exactly what her nipples look like. I don't want a woman like that.
Absolutely. There are so many chicks like that. And spot on. If you get on one of these girls' pages and you just scroll down a little bit, you get to see the size, the shape, the color of these women's nipples. And then if you're a guy and you come along and you're like, you know what? I don't think I want to date you. Or, you know what? You should stop doing that if you want anything serious between you and I. You're going to get called insecure. It's fucking crazy. But here's the thing. Can we really be all that surprised when these ladies are using words that don't even make sense to the situation? It's like they go around using misogynist a lot when a lot of them don't even know the definition. They're using it incorrectly. And I made a tweet the other day, and it's like we're literally getting to the point to where we have women who are doing things on camera that are not meant to be done on camera. And if you don't like it and you won't date her because of it, all of a sudden that makes you insecure. She's not the problem. You're the problem. And this is how it is. This is what we're telling women in general nowadays.
Explain to me how it's not because you're insecure.
Men are jealous of women.
That is just a manipulative tactic to take away from the spotlight that is her poor behavior.
There you go.
Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. It's every boss girl's favorite word. Together with the phrases, I know my worth, and I'm not settling.
I know what I want, and I'm not settling.
Because when you know your worth, it's an honor to be with me. I don't want to settle. I'm not going to settle.
Not settling for people who do not deserve us.
Being mentally aware and emotionally intelligent enough.
Yeah, good luck with that. Anyways, society has now crafted this disgusting recurring narrative that if a man does anything to make a woman feel insecure, then he is toxic and abusive, and that she should definitely leave him immediately.
He's the problem.
If you immediately feel like your feelings are invalid, or you know that this person is going to make you feel invalid by telling them how you feel, hello? You're being gaslit.
He doesn't care to take your feelings into consideration, and he doesn't care enough that it makes you uncomfortable to stop.
My feelings are not up for
debate.
However, when a man indicates that a woman does something that he doesn't like, then he's simply insecure and he should just deal with his own insecurities.
You guys are really insecure about everything.
You get into a relationship with an insecure man, they have such fragile egos.
If you're so insecure about all of this, you shouldn't be dating anyways. Work on yourself.
Do you see how this works? It's the exact same word. However, when it comes to women, it is used to justify their actions and feelings.
Like your feelings matter, so that you feel prioritized and cared for and important.
But for men, it is simply used to call them a loser.
Insecure men, heal yourself.
That comes down to an insecurity in their ego.
So it's very clear that this game is rigged and you should definitely stop playing by the rules. Because even though most modern women love to complain about the importance of boundaries, they sure as don't respect them themselves.
I thought about not telling you guys this story because it's an embarrassing story for me and for my husband, but I'm gonna tell it.
So if I were to ask him, hey,
these women are so silly. They're so silly. This is just my point here is they're silly, and a lot of times it seems like they'll behave like children. Now, not all women, but a lot of modern women, I think a good word to put on them is just they're quite immature. Women will constantly say men should like mature women, but they've got it all backwards, right? Yes, men like mature women, but it's not the traits you think it is. You know, we don't think you're immature because you have a career and you're sort of adopting this, independent boss lady mindset, and that's what they think the maturity is. When really it's like understanding your man's position and why he feels a certain way, being able to critically think about maybe he's right. Maybe I shouldn't post my tits on Instagram. Maybe that's a good idea. I think he's right. It's sort of self-awareness, understanding when to keep privacy between you and I, not blasting our intimate details within our relationship online, right? Not posting these pictures. Like, that is the type of maturity that men are looking for. Like a woman who understands that she's kind of a reflection of her man. She understands that she can make her family look bad by her actions. This is the type of maturity that men, in my opinion, do look for. I mean, I definitely do. That's the type of maturity I want. The type of maturity that I'm not super into and that women think I should be into is their career and their independence and their seasoned experience. It's just, I'm good. The way these women come off, the modern women, they're very immature. Yeah, sure that maybe they have a career. Maybe they went to college. Maybe they're in a lot of debt. That doesn't really take a lot to do. They're just quite immature. Yeah.
hey, I thought I asked you to pick up the kitchen last night. Oh, well, you only told me to clean the bottles, and I did clean the bottles. You didn't tell me to put the food away, and you didn't tell me to clean up the rest of it.
Welcome back to Like My Boyfriend Does, a series.
Yeah, all wonderful partners that every man is dying to be with. Please drop a like on the video if you think that social media is rotting away the brains of modern women, and comment down below what you think. Especially the ones who are blasting their husbands online instead of just talking to them like an adult. I mean, I can understand a 14-year-old being an idiot online, but come on, a 30 or 40-year-old woman should really know better than to do this.
Well, that's the thing. They're all very immature.
I probably should not have told the story about my husband going to the bar.
Now, before we get into the absurdity of running to TikTok to complain about your spouse and shame them online for the entire world to see, let's first define the word boundary, shall we? And ironically, Whitney Cummings actually hits the nail on the head with this one.
Boundaries aren't for them, they're for you. And if someone violates your boundary, you don't set another boundary, you remove yourself from the situation.
Exactly. And so you see, as a man, you must always set your boundaries on your own life and relationships way before you enter into relationships, regardless of the BS narrative that society is pushing on you. Since society wants nothing more than to turn men into obedient lapdogs to be exploited for monetary gains and be completely humiliated.
And then I cheated on him with like 4 guys. I was always open and honest about it.
I was heartbroken, to say the least.
And we made him sit and watch. I thought I'm having my fun first.
I did feel a bit left out, yeah.
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying himself.
And so what's going on here is guys are being shamed and called insecurity for jealousy and being territorial. And being jealous and territorial doesn't make you insecure at all. It makes you a man. And what we're kind of trying to, what it seems like these men are buying into is they're being taught to fetishize their jealousy and their like evolutionary instincts. And this is, it's guys like this, man, that really fall hard for the shaming language. It's like, fuck, maybe I am insecure for feeling territorial. It's just crazy, you know, we're being told that if we want to be territorial, we're insecure, and these types of men are buying it.
So clearly, boundaries are essential for man's sanity and self-respect, which brings us to the first classic case of boundaries, and that is the posting or liking of promiscuous photos on social media.
If your boyfriend is liking other girls' pictures, specifically bikini picture or thirst trap picture, then you need to run.
I would absolutely throw a fit, and I would tell them that that is not acceptable in my book.
How girls find it disrespectful when their boyfriends are liking other girls' pictures.
This is not about being insecure. This is not about being insecure.
Now, it is obviously hilarious that so many women have an issue with men liking sexy photos of other women, but it's those same women who see no problem whatsoever in posting those photos.
If guys want to purchase a site to see me post pictures I feel confident, why is that a bad thing?
I genuinely think when you're in a relationship with a guy, they should only like your pictures. It just is a reminder that my boyfriend took the time to look at this girl's picture, and he in his head was like, that's a nice picture.
Oh dude, these women suck. They suck. It's so bad. All right. Oh god, what the fuck, man. Yeah, so here's the thing. I agree with him in the way that you shouldn't be liking these random chicks' pictures. There's no reason to do it. But the fact that they'll sit there and say, you know, it's disrespectful and embarrassing if you like those photos. Oh, really? So you do understand it's disrespectful and embarrassing if you post those photos? No. My body, my choice. You're insecure. Oh, really? This is their logic. It's silly. This is why sometimes I call them children. They're very hypocritical and immature, and they can't see other people's point of views. Even the ones they declare to love, they don't get it. They don't understand why a man would feel some type of way about this. And yet they're like, no, but you can't like it, but I can post it. It's insane. And this is why you can't take the shit they say seriously. They just throw out words like misogynist, insecure, incel. They mean nothing. You're saturating words, and you're using it, and it doesn't even make sense the way you're using it. It's ridiculous.
So that guys can understand how embarrassing it actually is.
This girl is literally standing here half naked explaining to men how incredibly disrespectful it is to like a photo of a half naked woman. This is absolute irony at its...
Look at this chick, man. Look at this photo right here. Look at this. I mean, unbelievable. Oh, and she's dead serious. Bird brain, bro.
Its finest.
That's honestly a compliment, calling these chicks bird brain. Just airheads, man.
A photo of a half-naked woman. This is absolute irony at its finest. And it proves that for women, boundaries are a one-way street. Because millions of women complaining about this very fact clearly proves that women do understand the problem of posting slutty photos. However, what they don't like is to give up that sweet dopamine rush that they get from posting those photos, and all the male validation that comes with that.
Wait, so this woman is married? Oh my god. Absolutely disgusting.
However, what they don't
fuck?
Like is to give up that sweet dopamine rush that they get from posting those photos and all the male validation that comes with that.
What is the currency for women on social media? Attention. And you are looking, when you post those posts, what are you looking for? You're looking for the likes, the comments.
From who?
Other men. Satisfaction from getting them from women is not the same as getting them from men. You're gonna get those DMs, and you're gonna put yourself in that position to disrespect your man.
So all of this proves that as a man, you should never tell a woman not to post slutty photos online, because you simply shouldn't even be with her since she's already broken.
Thirst traps
season is coming. It's arrived. It's here.
I think the reason I grabbed my whole phase by the horns and needed it so bad was because I had put all my eggs in a basket of a relationship and I did it way too fast and I got really over and it ended up biting me in the butt and I was absolutely heartbroken, destroyed.
You know what this means? This means you can post the sluttiest, most cringiest snap to get his attention.
A woman who posts her ass, tits, and vag online has no self-respect.
Oh yeah, and this girl also was in a video saying she wants a guy who makes 6 figures, and yet just you're doing this type of shit online. It's crazy. What an interesting phenomenon going on here. These younger women. You know, when I was in middle school, or let's just say when I was younger, to get pictures like this right here, I had to work my ass off to get pictures like this, and it was hard. It was a challenge. I had to work for it. And now these women just post it on Instagram. For what? Well, for what? Obviously, for attention. There was even a study I reviewed on this channel that they literally did a study and proved that the reason why women post sexy photos online is to get male attention and validation. And of course it is. Of course it is. And so this is why they do this shit. And the thing is, say you get into a relationship with a woman like this, do you think one man's attention is going to be superior to thousands and hundreds of thousands of males' attention? That's up for you to answer. I suppose my answer would kind of be, it's going to be hard. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Quality over quantity is what they say. But dude, that's a lot of dopamine. We're underestimating the amount of attention and validation these women get when they post pictures like this. The DMs that come flooding in. The absolute dopamine that these women get hit with. The validation. They become so internally obsessed because they're like, look at all these people that want me. I'm the shit. I am the absolute shit. And nothing that I do is wrong. And no man is going to tell me not to do something because I got hundreds and thousands and possibly millions of men who are following me and giving me attention. They don't even know my personality. They don't even know the way I speak. They like me because of all this. And oh, wait, this must be all I need to bring to relationships. And it just, their minds are becoming infected. And then, like I said earlier, this exact woman was featured in an interview saying she expects a man to make 6 figures and she's wanting this type of guy. And you got her posting pictures like this.
And if she doesn't even respect herself, then why the hell would she ever respect you or the relationship?
Do not sign your youth away to some man who's not going to matter in 4 years.
See what I mean? Now, women will try to frame it as if men are trying to control them, but that is not at all what's happening. Men are simply saying, hey, if this is what you want to engage in, then you are not for me. That's all. Which women will then label as pick-me girls or trad wives, as if that's somehow a bad thing to do.
So I wouldn't exactly consider myself a modern woman because living a modern lifestyle never empowered me. But the more I got back to tradition, the more I rejected the lifestyle of the modern woman, I found more fulfillment.
Ah, so refreshing. And yes guys, these girls do exist. They're just very, very hard to find. Now this all stems from the fact that modern women have been brainwashed by society into thinking that women have to do absolutely nothing to be attractive to men and then still deserve the best possible men out there. Which is why when they hear a guy say, I only date virtuous and kind women who take care of themselves, these women will lose their shit.
You're pathetic. And if you're straight, good luck having a successful relationship.
An insecure man would never be able to handle a strong, confident woman.
It's the weak men. It's the weak men that can't handle a strong woman.
First thought that comes to mind is that is a very weak man. Very weak man.
I mean, just take a second about how broken society is when women are getting absolutely furious when other women say they want to be virtuous or they want to be feminine and stay-at-home moms.
Like, it drives me crazy. I hate it.
And I think it's a really dangerous thing when you unironically and uncritically idolize a time like the 1950s.
I think one of the things that drives me the most insane about these trad wives or these like conservative women who are like cosplaying the trad life,
or even just women who are like staying home and cooking and cleaning is so much better than being.
Bro, look at that. It's funny how they always shit on the 1950s, but then those women will go around saying, I want a man to like pay for the first date. I want a man who will provide. It's like, it's funny how you like to pick and choose the good things about the 1950s and you still want them. So it's like 1950s, you would like 1950s to still sort of be around for the man, but for the woman, absolutely not. It's a weird thing to idolize the 1950s. Oh, but you still want like a man who's going to provide. Oh, but you still want to be treated like a woman, like you still want chivalry and stuff. Well, what do you mean? That stuff was going on in the 1950s. No, yeah, I like that part, but the part where women are just kind of chained to the kitchen, we don't like that. And of course, they'll use the exaggerations and start calling them indentured servants. And it's just silly, and it's like when you start to realize the shit these women are saying, you can take parts. Like, you see how ridiculous it is with the whole insecure thing. It makes no sense. And then you hear them constantly barking at men like myself, who are kind of calling this stuff out. They'll bark at you, call you misogynist, claim you're an involuntarily celibate. Like, what is that? And then you hear them start talking about, oh, it's not 1950s anymore. And then they'll still say they want a man who like provides and will take care of them. None of it makes sense. And then I'm a misogynist for then kind of rejecting female opinions nowadays. Oh, but maybe I've been trained to do so. Sorry.
A corporate baddie.
Being like, I would love this. I would love to just like cook and clean all day for my man.
That is now somehow the essence of evilness. That's crazy. But it's all because of one simple reason, which is fear. The fear of rejection. Because what guy is going to choose an abrasive, trashy woman that sleeps around over a nice, wholesome girl?
Yeah, my tits are out. It's fine. They're a part of my body. And if you don't like them, don't look.
No one. Which is why modern women want to shame men into letting go of their boundaries so that they don't get constantly rejected.
When the devil can't reach you, he sends you a man. A medium ugly white man that is going to break your heart and give you 5 years of trauma.
This is the guy who was supposed to f last night on my birthday. You. The fact that you ghosted me on my birthday, I don't understand it. And what makes it even more annoying is I wasn't even that interested.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Isn't it funny that every time they get rejected, it's somehow some basic white guy who was bad in bed, balding, and just plain boring, not good enough, but somehow they still managed to chase this dude for 3 months into some f***ed up situationship.
You are wasting your time on some mediocre white man who is giving you less than the bare minimum.
Anyways, next to this fear of rejection, another reason why modern women will shame men for having boundaries and standards is the fact that when women say the word boundary, what they hear is, please respect my feelings. But when they hear a man say the word boundary, all they hear is, things I'm not allowed to do. Which is why modern women absolutely hate men with standards, since it limits their ability to be slutty, fat, and obnoxious.
So if you're one of these fat baddies like me, who put up with terrible shit like this from men, please stop! There is no D that is good enough.
It's all about the person's personality. Everything is not all about looks.
He's been trying to convince himself to find me attractive because I had such a good personality.
It basically forces women to work on themselves and maintain their femininity, which actually requires some effort. And so it's much easier to just call men insecure and misogynist for setting the most basic standards possible. Men are not asking women to make $100K a year or magically grow to be 6'4". All that men ask is for women to be kind, feminine, and virtuous. Something that literally every single woman on the planet can achieve, but somehow that is still too much. Now on top of this, there's a very interesting phenomenon going on in the modern age of dating and relationships, which is the normalization of absolute depravity.
It was both of our ideas for me to seek other partners. We came to that conclusion together.
Talking about Elisa seeing her dating other men is one thing. Actually, like physically seeing her with someone else is going to be a bit of a challenge and a bit different. A whole new bag of emotions, a little more jealousy, more uncertainty. Kind of have to keep reminding myself like this is what we wanted.
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. Now what all of these relationships have in common are two simple things. 1, no respect whatsoever for the husband or boyfriend, and 2, having complete confidence that that idiot will not leave her. Because I guarantee you, only women who are confident enough that their loser husband or boyfriend will not leave them will have the balls to even suggest an extra man in the relationship. And this brings us to the crux of this story, since society is simply out there to break men down and to force them to be happy with a masculine, obnoxious wife who's allowed to sleep around whenever she feels like it. This was Why Women Shame Men for Having Boundaries. Please drop a like on the video.
Yeah, these modern women, they certainly know how to be sex objects and have no idea how to be wives, and then are confused when men won't give them that position. It all declined so quickly. Obviously, I wasn't alive in the early or mid 1900s, but I would like to think that it wasn't always like this. There was a golden age of American women.